How goes the family? Welcome back to Patterson L Properties. Good old Patterson L Properties. Hopefully, you guys have been having a great day. Today's topic is going to be talking about nothing that's no joking matter, the possible looming eviction crisis. We're in a state right now in the United States of America where we're at a bit of a crossroads, especially with certain things not being put into place, people out of work. It's not a laughing matter whatsoever. I would implore people to put their political nonsense to the side and do what's best for everybody within the country so that there's some sort of stabilization. I'll leave it at that. I remain neutral in this situation because I'm for the right decision to ensure that there's not a massive eviction. Companies don't close down, and people remain safe all at the same time. That's what I'm for, and that's the side I'm on. But anyways, with the unfortunate COVID-19 crisis still in existence, not only in the United States, but throughout the world, Congress has done the admirable thing by ensuring that displaced workers, due to stay-at-home orders, have ensured that people were collecting up to $1,000 a week in unemployment benefits. And this has not only been great for the country, but it's definitely been great for landlords because a lot of people, especially the good tenants, have been utilizing their benefits to pay for their bills and whatnot. And the smarter tenants have been putting some money away at the same time because a lot of people making $1,000 or more a week was considered them getting a raise. They were getting paid more to stay at home than they were to be at work. So to me, it's like, hey, is this something that's going to last forever? And should it last forever? Absolutely not. But to increase the savings rate for people, I think that's a great idea. And then when people having more time on their hands, if they're smart, they'll figure out a new skill set, create their own business, things of that nature, so they could have something on the side just in case another rainy day will come, because rainy days always come, no matter what's situation, no matter what person is in any sort of high office. Rainy days come. So are you ready for it? It's kind of like the old school song with New Edition, Can You Stand the Rain? All right. So, and as of July 2020, experts across the United States have stated that up to 28 million Americans have a chance of being evicted. 28 million Americans. Now, this isn't definitely a laughing matter whatsoever because, hey, California, I love you to death. You're my home state now. I love you for your beauty and lifestyle. However, places like Los Angeles and the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, and that whole Bay Area, state of Hawaii, New York City, and Washington, D.C., as some of the biggest homeless populations in the United States due to those areas having the highest cost of living in the United States. And if experts are correct and 28 million people are evicted, then the trickle-down theory is going to have a ripple effect. And the trickle-down effect will also hit insurance companies for lack of insurance policies in regards to homes and personal policies because people can't afford them, and from a car, and even for cars, if people can't afford a car, then they don't need car insurance. From a rental and homeowner perspective and car owner perspective, the retail industry, which is already struggling due to the high employment rates and uncertainty, property management companies will lose business due to the lack of renters. It's a big deal. Construction/maintenance companies will lose business because the demand will go down. Banks will lose money if foreclosures go through the roof. Also, if the homeless population goes up, then banking and other lending institutions will lose customers, and no customers equals no institutions. It's not, like I said, it's not a laughing matter. And I'm just talking about mostly things from a real estate perspective. I'm not talking about the trickle/ripple down effect that can happen in other sectors, if this happens. So that's just me breaking it down from a real estate perspective. Okay. So last but definitely not least, all governments from the federal, state, and local governments will lose their tax base, which contributes to more deficits for all levels of government. Because one thing governments and corporations have in common, they need money in order to survive. It's like regular working people. They need money in order to survive. Money, money, money. Now, there are talks within Congress about continuing the nationwide uniform moratorium on evictions and to continue the current trajectory of unemployment benefits, obviously until things can get sorted out and there's a decent vaccine to not only instill safety within people, no matter going back to work, no matter going back to a restaurant, traveling more again, and things of that nature. Even though people are still doing it, not doing it as the rate that they were before this virus, but people are still doing it because things have to still get done. And a lot of people is like, hey, I'll take the risk, and I commend it for that. As much as I, like to purchase cheap real estate as much as the next real estate investor, however, I really do not want to see massive evictions or foreclosures across the nation. It's not good for me. It's not good for the tenants. It's not good for the country, period. So you will never get me to say, oh man, we're going to have a lot of cheap real estate. No, that's what delinquent tax properties are for. But it doesn't do any real estate investor any good if they have a multitude of investment properties that no one, and I mean no one, can rent or buy them. It's just doesn't, it's an oxymoron. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? That would be basically counterproductive move right now. I mean, at this time, I'm only interested in purchasing delinquent tax properties because it's more advantageous to my company's portfolio to own properties that do not have a mortgage, and the opportunity to sell and rent them holds less of a risk if you have the chance to cash flow little by little, a month, or at least get a significant payday once every couple of months from selling a property. And that's just because, hey, there's less risk involved if I have a property that my tenant has to stay in because of an eviction ban. However, I'm not going to lose money. It might not cash flow. However, I'm not going to be losing money because the mortgage company won't be knocking on my door because there is no mortgage on the property. So I just have to worry about the property taxes and the insurance. And that's way cheaper than having to worry about the property taxes, insurance, and the mortgage all at the same time. I'm just saying, it might not work for everybody, but that definitely works for me. That gives me more confidence and whatnot because, like I said, rainy days will come. When this is all said and done, when this is over with, and there's a vaccine and people feel confident and people aren't getting sick as much and whatnot, and I'm definitely, like I would hope most of you all are ready for that day. Another rainy day will come. Economic collapses. The economy is like a freaking wave in the ocean. It goes up, it goes down, no matter who the president is, no matter who your governor is. It goes up and goes down, it goes up and goes down. So as a real estate investor, it's advantageous for not only you to have a great portfolio, but for you to have a significant amount of savings and ensure that you have assets coming from other areas as well, because rainy days will come. You have rainy day funds, not a rainy day fund, but funds. You know what I mean? That's what cuts the risk down for you as an investor, because you got to ensure that you're ready for the storm, because they always come. Do you have enough umbrellas? Not just one. Being a landlord right now has become a very, very big risk, at least until the economy gets, quote unquote, back to normal. We are definitely living in the times of being cash high, owning the right real estate in the right areas, and owning gold and the right stocks, and what 2020 has basically turned into. Now, when it comes to purchasing real estate, it's a great time with the historical low interest rates. But for investors like myself, we definitely have to be more strategic in how we approach things. All right. So if you're interested in purchasing any specific kinds of gold, family, join the Care Bars International family. It's in the description, anything of that. And as soon as you sign up, I will give you a call personally and email you, and let me know if you're a landlord or a real estate investor out there, wholesaler, real estate agent. Let me know how you feel about today's situation and where we're at now and where you think we're going. Let me know in the comment section. I would really love to hear other people's perspectives, and I'll definitely engage with you because it's interesting. Like I said, I'm just on the side of things getting somewhat back to normal, and think on the side of right here. I want everyone to win, the tenants and landlords, wholesalers, real estate agents, property management companies. We're all in this together at the end of the day. So we have to make sure that we do our darndest to make sure that everything tries to remain stabilized and we start growing again. So on that note, please do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully you guys have a great day.